Hello, hello, Christina Giordano here, and I am the creator of Sold. What is Sold? It is selling with soul, Sould, and I created it out of the need for several things in the marketing industry. Some things that I was really resenting about the industry from an old paradigm perspective. The hustling, the grinding, the manipulation, the fear-based tactics employs those were just rubbing me the wrong way. And so I decided to usher in or help usher in a new paradigm that was exciting and easy and effective and ethical and all of the things that we think marketing is essentially not. And so I created Sold with the goal of helping you accomplish three main things. The first is to message yourself in a way that truly reflects the actual transformation you provide. The second is to market yourself in a way that is full of integrity. So, no longer needing to compromise your boundaries and your energy and your wholeness. And then finally, to monetize yourself in a way that honors your multidimensionality. I mean, this is the new way of business building when we're really showing up with soul, showing up with the essence that is us and who we are and what we stand for and what we believe in and how we can serve others. It's service based, it's desire oriented, and it's heart centered. And it's a movement that I love to be a part of and that I've created with literally my full soul into it. So I'm excited that you're here checking out this video today. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that's in the air right now. And I'm sure you're feeling it too. The people who are attracted to my work, who follow me, who appreciate what I do, they are drawn to more of the spiritual essence of our lives. And with that, the spiritual nature of business building. Believe it or not, there is a spiritual component that can, if we so allow, come in and help us navigate the world of business building, which has been such a practical and systematic and um, numbers based and for lack of a better word, masculine oriented type of thing. I mean, entrepreneurship is has changed in wild ways over the last 20 years or so, and maybe even less than that. But really, the people who are attracted to this work want to bring forth a spiritual component. I mean, the essence of a soul is spiritual in nature. So you do have to kind of have that mentality when you're listening to my video or watching my videos, listening to my podcast, or tuning into my work or even working with me. There is that element there that is more than, the grounded, earthly, practical approaches to business building, even though I take the spiritual components of the new way of business building and incorporate them into more practical approaches and protocols and systems so that you could actually apply the spiritual concepts in a way that works for you and that really makes sense. So back to the topic for today, there is a feeling of newness in the air. And, quite honestly, there's nothing I love more than this time of year. It's the time of blooming and blossoming. And, there's an aliveness that comes right now. It's like the birthing of the new. It's when, things are coming out, creatures, animals, plants, flowers, everything's budding. And, we plant seeds at the end of the year, in the fall and the winter, and we hope for growth and renewal in the spring. And right now is that time when we really get to see and witness the growth that has occurred as a result of those intentions, as a result of those seeds. So again, there's nothing more than I love this time of year. And as the time that I make this recording, it's March 18th, which is just a couple days before the spring equinox. We are also coming up to the eclipse season, which a lot of my followers also appreciate as well. They love some astrology in their soul work. But back to the topic of today of the newness. So me, I live in Chicago, so I experience seasonality all year long in a very real way. It's still winter here, and believe it or not, it is snowing outside. So When I say I experience spring, summer, winter, fall, I truly do. Um, but by also being connected to my innate rhythms, I feel seasonality in my bones. Like I feel it not only penetrating from the outside, it also comes from within. So there's kind of like a the environmental climate, weather, atmospheric sensations that I get, that I feel. But then there's also the seasonality from within of like my own natural rhythms, my own natural cycle, my own natural um, kind of birth and death throughout the year. And as it happens to all of us very often, or not so often at all. But I can feel when there's um, a death on the horizon, but then also a rebirth on the horizon. There's always kind of a newness on the other side of that. So, yes, the seasons are changing. Yes, eclipse season is here. Yes, Mercury is about to go retrograde. Um, and yes, the cosmos are doing their thing on an individual and collective level. How is it making you feel on the inside? If the spring equinox is allowing for something to bloom, what is it? What is coming through for you right now? What newness is emerging or trying to emerge? Now, for me personally, I feel like I'm going to remember this time of my life more than any other. And if you've been following along, it has been a little crazy. It has been a little crazy, both personally and professionally. And because even after so much internal change that the past year has brought me, there's still this newness that is blossoming through me, and it feels like dancing to the beat of my own drum. It feels like a somatic approach to business building. It feels like the new way that I've been talking about is becoming clear with every exhale I take to more deeply surrender to it. It feels like greater integrity, authenticity, consciousness, clarity. And with that in mind, you're probably wondering, okay, that sounds lovely, but how can we actually use the energy of newness for our businesses? And I want you to ask yourself, am I speaking my truth? Am I getting to the heart of my work when I talk about my business? And, I talk about messaging all the time. Messaging is my bread and butter. When I do my meetup, which is my 90-minute one-to-one, I become so connected to the person on the other end that I can get to a point where I can say, this is what you do. This is the essence of you. And it's a gift that I have, and it's one that I'm proud of. And it's one that I have really, it's one that I have really been nurturing for quite some time now. And because of it, I I developed the meetup, which is the one-to-one, but then also the mega, which is a VIP day. And because of that gift, I'm able to really get to the heart of what you do in business. So that was the time, I mean, really more than ever, is when you want to be thinking about, am I getting to the heart of what I do? Is this truly the essence of my business? The second thing I want you to ask yourself is, am I marketing myself in integrity? So am I showing up in a way that I actually want to, or am I doing, or is it the way the world tells me I should? Am I monetizing myself fully? This is the third one. I'm getting ahead of myself. But after, the marketing piece, once you figure out how you want to show up for yourself, you want to think about, okay, am I pricing, delivering, and packaging my service offerings in a way that is truly reflective of what I'm capable of everything that I'm capable of? And am I helping as many people as possible with what I'm offering? So am I monetizing myself fully is the third question you want to ask yourself. Am I helping others in all ways, or am I holding back? Now, I've said this before, but there's no better time than now to clarify and tighten up all of the above. Both the meetup, which is that 90-minute one-to-one, where we discuss pretty much anything marketing related that you want to, and the mega, which is a half day one-to-one where you complete my main method self-study program, and then you meet with me for half a day and we kind of work through it together, and then I step away for a bit to create your marketing strategy for you. So those two options really give you the opportunity to work with me in achieving that, in really achieving, tightening up the messaging, clarifying the marketing strategy, and landing the way that you want to monetize yourself and your offerings. So, with that, I just want to reiterate that we are in an era where we can show up fully as our most creative and authentic selves. Like, this is the time to do it, especially as we go into this upcoming eclipse season, especially as we are in this season of, spring and, seeds emerge or buds emerging from their seeds. And yet, even with that in mind, it is an era where we are still so heavily influenced by those around us. And I'm guilty of this too. Showing up in a way that works perfectly for someone else, but not for me. Creating to fit the algorithm standards and timetables. Denying my innate rhythms to follow the rhythm of others, or even the rhythm of an actual machine. And it wasn't until I got really clear on the movement that I'm creating, which is sold, that I started to do things differently. And it wasn't until I became more self aware of myself in order to become really solid in myself that I started to be different. Now, the pillars of my three main methods are consciousness, clarity, and conviction. And if you're new around here, I've got three methods that I channeled. I want to say it was like 2020 or something like that. But they're called the life method and the soul method and the love method. And they were built as roadmaps, not to put someone else on my path, but to help them fully understand theirs. So my methods aren't really, this is what you do to do this, and this is what you should do next, and this is how I did it, and so it's going to work for you. It's really, this is you. You're going to fill in the blanks of the prompts that you're provided, and this will actually create your roadmap for you. Your roadmap is figuring these pieces out first and then deciding how you want to show up with that knowledge, because when you understand your path, you can more effectively communicate your message, execute your marketing strategy, and strategize more fulfilling pathways of monetization. And honestly, business ownership gets to be a lot easier, a lot more exciting, a lot more effective with some self discovery. And we are in the season where self discovery is the thing that's going to, people always say this, rocket launch your business. So for lack of a better word, because I don't like it when people use rocket launch as like a term. Um, but self-discovery was the main ingredient for how I got to where I am today. And it is the main ingredient for how I move and how I honor myself and how I honor my business and how I show up. And it's with that information that I'm able to make decisions that are truly in alignment and truly empowered by me. That's what sold is all about. It's selling with soul, selling with your soul, and then receiving that on the other side so that people get it. They're feeling it. They're aligned to your work. So that's the magic of marketing when you're doing it in a new way. So happy springtime, friends. Thank you for joining me for this video today. Again, you can find more information about all of my offerings on my Get Guidance page of my website. It's ChristinaGiordano.com. I hope you check it out. And as always, be well and take care.